I told manager to stick it as I quit. When I was in college, I worked part-time at a local grocery store in the evenings for some extra cash. I had a busy schedule due to my classes, and I had specified certain days that I couldn't work. However, my boss would continuously call me on those days to come in and cover a shift, even though I had told him multiple times that I couldn't. And every time I said no, he would threaten to fire me. One day, I had just finished a long day of classes and was looking forward to some much-needed rest when my boss called me again. He begged me to come in and cover for someone who had called out sick, but I stood firm and told him I couldn't. He then threatened to write me up for being a no-show, even though I had given him plenty of notice that I wouldn't be available that day. I was starting to feel frustrated and fed up with his constant demands when the final straw came. A shift manager, who was only a few years older than me, started yelling at me in front of customers because I refused to be trained on the register. He even threatened to withhold my raise, which was only a few cents, if I didn't comply. I felt disrespected and humiliated, and I had had enough. Without thinking, I told him off and told him to stick his raise where the sun doesn't shine. I then walked away and went back to helping the customer I was with. As I was helping the customer, I could see the shift manager glaring at me from across the store. I knew then that I had to leave that toxic environment for good. After the customer I was helping had checked out, I gathered my things and walked out of the store for the last time. I felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulders as I walked away, knowing that I wouldn't have to deal with my boss or the shift manager ever again. Looking back on that experience, I realized that I learned a lot about standing up for myself and not letting others take advantage of me. It wasn't easy to walk away from a job, especially one that provided much needed income, but it was the right thing to do. And I'm glad I did it.
Like, comment and follow for more stories.